at home. Paul, has this been a sort of a week of home truths, or just reinforcing the same messages that you've been saying since you've been here?
It's definitely been a week of home truths. Absolutely brilliant question. Yeah, it has. And probably wasn't expecting you to ask that question, but you're absolutely right. I wasn't happy after that trip up to Hartlepool and that performance. You know, of course, the weather did play a part, but you know, we're all professionals and you've got to deal with that, and we didn't. So I was bitterly disappointed. I felt we missed a golden opportunity to put back-to-back wins together after Oxford. I felt a win was on its way after the performances, and I was proved right. But you know, wasn't able to maintain that. The opportunity comes again tomorrow night against Morecambe to maintain it, to get back on to winning ways. And if we do that, you know, no matter which way you look at it, it'll be 2 wins out of 3 league games. So that's very positive. So that's what I want to look at. We've definitely had some home truths with the whole group, with everybody at the club, because you know, fundamentally it's not been right for a long time here. And I saw a lot of things at the weekend that showed me why we've been losing games.
So how do you make sure that the players and everyone channels their efforts in the right ways? Because the effort wasn't in doubt. I
think you know, making tackles, doing the ugly side of the game, and basically breaking it down. If you're a striker, you're paid to score goals. If you're a midfield player, you're paid to work really hard. You know, be aggressive and get box to box. And if you're a defender and a goalkeeper, clean sheets. We've not scored enough goals. We've not had enough clean sheets, and these are all the things that I'm discovering now. Why, you know, why we're not getting clean sheets, why we're struggling to score goals. So look, I'm learning all the time, which was always going to happen. And the positive side of this is this group of players has the opportunity to turn it around, because you know, as a rule, we can't bring anybody in. Yes, I've brought in the 3 boys from Liverpool because you know, Liverpool done us a huge favour. But other than that, the squad is what it is. There's no funds to bring anybody in. You know, that's why the chairman said originally the job was going to be so tough, because you're working with the same group of players. Now, in my experience, if you bring in new players, it really can push players to their maximum because they've got competition. But at the club at the moment, we've got lots and lots of young players. I've been, you know, delighted with them, delighted with what they've put in. And you know, if anybody comes into the team, it'll be a couple of younger ones.
You're trying to be positive. Can actually the fact that it's a Friday night game, can that be just a little bit different? Can that be a positive thing?
I don't know about that. I think you know, I have to be positive because of, like I said, the performances have been okay. I'm not going to think I'm a magician. I'm not a magician. Okay. I've come in here to improve things, and we have. And certainly, as I've said to you, you know, I think it was something like 19 goals against in the previous 7 league games. It's now down to 8, and I'm pleased with that. I'm really pleased. And we've got to keep being solid. We've got to go all out for a clean sheet, because now with Jack coming in from Liverpool, he looks dangerous. I mean, he scored again at the weekend. It was offside, just offside, if offside. He looks dangerous, and you know, he showed he could score goals at Oxford. So we've added in that department, and now it's about trying to be really resilient and dig in, and against a team who'll be big and strong. And you know, we've just got to get everything we've got. The players have got to give every last bit they've got, you know, to get us up the league, because we have been in this position now for probably 18 months.
And Morecambe, looking at their recent results, lots of nils, whether it's for them or for the opposition, but just looks like the first goal could be really, really important.
Yeah, I think the first goal's always really important in the game, you know, and of course for us, if we don't get the first goal, you maybe can see heads drop, but at the same time at Oxford, you know, we didn't. We kept fighting. Look, there's a great opportunity for the players to react from the Port defeat last week, and if we do, and if we win, you know, it'd be a different story. But certainly, in terms of you know, what we've got to work with, the players have given everything in training. Everything, they've just got to really step on now in the games.
And you talk about that resilience, especially at the back. The reinforcements of Matt Taylor and Steve Elliott, how are they doing? Because obviously they bring leadership as well.
Well, you know, they're not fit, which is a problem. And obviously Matt's come back training now, but not enough to be playing. maybe the bench. And this has been a problem. I think the one thing when you see a pattern emerge, we've got Asa that's out injured, we've got Stevie that's struggling, Matty's struggling, and they're big players. They're big players, in terms of when we signed them to be in the team, the starting 11, and they're not in there. So that's difficult. Matty's come back in and did great, and then comes back out again. So then you're working with a different back four. But I'm very pleased with Lloyd. I think Lloyd has done well, very well, and I think he was definitely one of our better players at Hartlepool. I thought he was big and strong, and he's exactly what we need in League Two.
And can someone like him, even though he's still a youngster, can he lead by example and just by winning some headers, inspire people around him?
Well, that's been one of the talking points this week with the players, is that it's been far too quiet. For my liking, it's like if you see somebody not quite doing their job, you have to tell them. You have to tell them in professional football. Else things are not going to improve, and it's a big ask for younger players to do that. But when you haven't got the likes of Taylor and you haven't got the likes of Elliott around, you're looking to fast track these younger ones. And certainly Lloyd has got, there's no doubt about it, the boy is a leader and he's going to be a leader. But yeah, you're right, there's responsibility on everybody now, whether you're 18, 28, you've got to step forward. That's what I've been asking for. It's how are we gonna manage to take the club forward, with the same group, and it's me asking the questions of them and pushing them on, and the staff have been good in terms of saying to me that they have seen big improvements in the players. The staff have said that to me in terms of the way they're training and the way they've been performing in games. We've just got to try and add some wins to that.
The staff have noticed it. Have you noticed it as well since you've been here?
Well, it's difficult for me because I've not been working with this group of players every day. So you lean on people like Steve Elliott, you lean on people like Wezzo and Bookie to sort of tell you, how it was before. I mean, certainly from what I came into in terms of, how low the players were, I think you've seen us a lot brighter. And now it's about belief, it's about believing, it's about opportunity, and the players have got a golden opportunity to, there's a lot out of contract come the summer. And it's in their hands, in terms of their performances in games. If they are going to have a future at the club, that's going to be down to them.
And in terms of people who might be coming here, any sort of progress? You said sort of younger ones might be the way forward again for any future signings.
No, I've exhausted a lot of avenues, but the bottom line is really is the finances of the club. The budget has been spent. So if the budget's spent, the budget's spent, and I haven't got an opportunity to sort of bring in permanence. I haven't got an opportunity to bring in, say, my own players. I think that's true. Of course, I want to add players to the team to freshen it up and to make it, start to feel like it's my team as well. But no, we've not been able to do that. So we're going to run with the group we've got for now. And they've got a golden opportunity. It's a great opportunity. We've got a small squad. They're all involved more or less, and they have a golden opportunity to go and impress. And I'm really hoping we'll see that on Friday night, because we have got a lot of young players, and I really do believe in the young players. And if I do make changes, it will be probably at 18 and 19-year-olds coming in.
And a word on Matt Gould going out to Bishop's Cleeve. Is that just purely because he needs games?
Yeah, he does need games. Yeah. I've not been able to see Goldie in matches, which I need to do to make a decision on him. So it's only fair now that he goes out, which I'm pleased about. We've got a few reserve games coming up, which will be good. But ultimately, the squad is so small that everybody's getting a go. You're seeing, I think, I've probably used nearly every player now, more or less, other than one or two. But there's a couple of players that are certainly deserving a chance. It's just whether I decide to change it or not.
And everyone else apart from Steve, Matty and Ace are okay?
Yeah, everybody else is okay. Byrone's took a bang at the weekend on his hip, and he's been struggling with that, but apart from that, everybody's okay.
Thank you. Good luck.
Cheers. Thank you.
Well, you mentioned obviously that after the Oxford game, the team picked itself. Is it very much a different situation and a bit of a head scratcher this week?
Yeah, it is, because it was a poor performance and a poor result in many ways, and I'm not going to try and brush that under the carpet. So yeah, it's whether or not to make a couple of changes, 1 change, 3 changes, and today we'll sort of start to edge towards what the team's going to be. But yeah, it's never easy, because you're looking to build momentum, and when you're sort of chopping and changing, it's tough, because you've got to be sure that the players can handle being left out and what response you're going to get.
Are you beginning to make your mind up after sort of 10 games with these players about who might be in your plans longer term and who isn't?
Well, I think only being halfway through the season, I can't think like that yet. I can't start thinking like that, because if I was sitting there and we had an opportunity to bring 5 or 6 players in, or even 2 or 3, okay, that leaders, players sort of 24, 25, know the division, there would be serious competition then, in terms of players thinking, well, okay, he's brought in 3 or 4, but because I'm not able to do that, they get the opportunity. They really do, on the back of that, get the opportunity. It's just whether they're going to realise there is a big opportunity to impress me and show that the underperforming, which has gone on now for quite a while, the underachieving that's gone on, in their performances, can be turned around between now and the end of the season.
Sounds like almost it's a second chance that some of them maybe haven't deserved.
Well, it's again, I can only judge on league position over a long period of time, which has been more or less the same, and things had to change. A few weeks back in terms of trying to shake this group up, trying to shake them up, trying to kickstart our season, because it's not been a great place to be. It's probably not been that many performances, good performances this season, not enough. And like I say, I just want the players to give everything they got, every last bit they've got, and I won't accept anything less.
Is finance the only stumbling block with players? That there are players that you would like to bring in, and you just can't afford them?
Of course, yeah, of course there is, yeah.
And have you spoken to the chairman about that? Is that a conversation you're having? Have you got begging bowl in hand?
No, in fairness to the chairman, he said it's going to be a tough job, and this is what he meant, right? Because it's very hard to go from, like I said before, it's very difficult if you've been losing and not won for that many games to then just start winning, just going on a free-flowing win, scoring goals, everything's great. It doesn't work like that. We've got to work hard, together. We've got to be honest with each other, which we've been this week. So that's a positive. It's a positive this week that it's been a tough week, because it's warranted being a tough week, because everybody is professionals at this club, and everybody should be hurting as much as the fans were after the game at the weekend. I certainly am. The players they know that, and I'm looking for a big reaction tomorrow night. You
mentioned the fans there. You're obviously understanding of some of the reaction after that game, and on the counterpoint is how much do you want them to be like the fans were at Hartlepool last week, really loud and behind their team.
Yeah, when you get the result we got against Oxford, that's how you want to spend your Saturday afternoons. That's what you want, and I have to be fair to the players. When we've lost in the games, we've given everything, but it can't continue like that. The boys have got to switch on to the fact that if you're not scoring goals, you've got to get out there, and you've got to make sure you're putting yourself in the right area. You're doing everything possible to hit the back of the net, and everything possible to keep a clean sheet. So there's still so much to work on. If we get a win on Friday, I won't be saying anything different. There's loads to work on, but the good thing is we've got this half a season. I think I'm right in saying we're halfway point, and there's opportunity for everyone to push on and be at the club.
Cheers.